The opening scene of the movie, we see the scientist who is the main character of the story. His name is Sebastian Kane. He was a brilliant scientist who, after years of hard work, had invented a medicine that could make any living thing, including humans and animals, invisible. However, he hadn't succeeded in creating a medicine to reverse the process and bring the invisible things back to visibility. For the past year, he had been struggling intensely on this project to develop a way to restore the missing entities. He faces a lot of challenges, but finally, his efforts pay off. He successfully creates the medicine that can bring back the invisible things. In reality, he had made several animals invisible using the invisibility medicine, and he wanted to bring them back. Now that he has succeeded in making this reversal medicine, he shares the news with his fellow scientists and asks them to come to the lab. In the lab, there's a gorilla that they had made invisible. They first sedate it with great effort, then lay it on a bed, tie its hands and feet, and inject it with the medicine that Sebastian had created to bring back invisible things. When they inject the medicine into it, they face a lot of difficulties because its heartbeat increases dramatically, and looking at the gorilla's condition, it seems like it won't survive. But they try hard to save it. They give shocks to its heart, which starts normalizing its heartbeat, and gradually, its entire body stabilizes. The gorilla fully returns to its visible form. Since they succeed in this, everyone becomes very happy because their invention and experiments have worked out. Here, we learn that all these experiments are being conducted for the military, and they have a meeting with the military personnel. In the meeting, Sebastian lies and says that he hasn't achieved any success yet and asks for more time to succeed. The military people respond that he has already taken a lot of time, and if he doesn't deliver results soon, they will replace him with someone else. When they come out, Sebastian's colleagues, a woman named Linda and a man named Matthew, ask him why he lied in the meeting about not achieving success when he actually has. He explains that it's because he wants to test this medicine on a human, and that human is none other than himself. Sebastian holds a meeting with his colleagues and lies to them too, saying that the army has given permission to test the medicine on humans, even though that's not true. He wants to test it on his own body. Linda and Matthew support him on this, although it's all a lie, nothing like that has happened. Then, Sebastian has the invisibility medicine injected into his own body, which causes him immense pain, and eventually he becomes invisible. But he also passes out along with it, and it takes him nearly 17 hours to regain consciousness. When he wakes up, he can't bear the light and asks for the lights to be turned off, so all the lights are switched off. Sebastian is now completely invisible, and they perform tests on his body, checking him up, which reveals that his body is perfectly normal. All the girls around feel unsafe and uncomfortable because they sense Sebastian's presence nearby, even though they can't see him. 3 days pass, and now it's time to make Sebastian visible again, to bring him back to his body. They inject him with the medicine that should reverse the invisibility. Once again, Sebastian experiences pain, and the troubling part is that he doesn't become visible, and his condition becomes critical. He's very close to death. Since they have no other option, they put a mask on Sebastian so that everyone can see him. This makes Sebastian very angry, and he argues with Matthew. He shouts at him, saying that in the past 10 days, the pain they've given him and the burning from the lights is something only he can feel. Because Sebastian isn't becoming visible, his mental state is deteriorating too. He's been invisible for so many days and is quite distressed, which makes him want to leave. One day, fed up, Sebastian leaves the lab and goes straight to his home. At home, he sees his neighbor girl, whom he's been keeping an eye on for some time. Sebastian removes his mask and rings her doorbell. When she opens the door and looks, there's no one there because Sebastian is invisible, and he enters her house. Linda comes to Sebastian's house and sees his mask lying there, which scares her. Linda returns to the lab and holds a meeting with her other colleagues, saying that Sebastian is no longer safe for them because he's roaming without the mask and is invisible. Just then, Sebastian arrives there. Linda warns him that if he does something like that again, she'll report him to the military. Sebastian agrees to her words. But everyone still has fear in their hearts because Sebastian is mentally unstable. They decide to keep an eye on him at all times. Although Sebastian is invisible, there's a camera in the lab that can see him even when he's invisible, and Sebastian knows this too. Because he's being watched, he can't leave the lab now. So, he tampers with the camera settings and plays an old recording, making it seem like he's still in the lab, and with that, he leaves the lab and goes straight to Linda's house. There, he discovers that Linda and Matthew are in a relationship, which makes him very angry because he likes Linda. In anger, he breaks the glass of her house window. When Linda looks outside, there's no one there, so she suspects that it might be Sebastian. To confirm, she calls the lab, and the person in the lab tells her that Sebastian is right there because the old video footage is still playing, showing Sebastian lying on the bed, so he thinks Sebastian is there, but he's not. When Sebastian returns to the lab, he's very angry and kills a dog there. The next day, when the animal doctor comes to feed the animals, she sees that the dog is dead and asks Sebastian if he did it. Sebastian tells her that he knows nothing about it. To confirm, she checks all the video footage but finds nothing. At night, Sebastian goes to Linda's house again, and Linda senses Sebastian's presence there. She suspects that someone is definitely there, and this time she goes to the lab herself to check. Then she realizes that Sebastian has been trying to fool them because Sebastian isn't there at all. She decides to tell this to her senior doctor. When Linda and Matthew go to the senior doctor, they tell him everything. Hearing this, the doctor gets very angry and removes Linda and Matthew from the project. As soon as they leave, the senior doctor starts telling this to his other colleagues, but his phone dies, and just then Sebastian arrives and drowns the senior doctor in the pool, killing him. The next morning, Sebastian returns to the lab. Linda and Matthew are waiting for the senior doctor's call because they have a meeting today. Since the senior doctor is dead, no call comes. To check, Linda calls the doctor's house and learns that the doctor died from drowning in the water. Then Linda decides to tell everyone about the project because Sebastian's reality, that he's invisible, is only known to the people in the lab. No one else knows about it. When she tries to make the call, her phone is also dead, and then they try to leave from there. But no door opens because Sebastian has inactivated all the door codes, and only Sebastian's code is active. They decide that no matter what, they'll catch Sebastian because he's still in the same lab. One of the girls had left something in the lab and goes back to get it, and Sebastian kills her. The people realize that Sebastian will kill them one by one because he doesn't want anyone to know his reality, that he's invisible. With the help of a tracer in the lab, they find Sebastian's location and send 2 people to catch him. Matthew and his friend. There, Sebastian injures Matthew's friend. Matthew fires at Sebastian too, but nothing happens to him, and his shadows start appearing and he escapes from there. Matthew's friend has lost a lot of blood and needs blood. Then Linda's friend goes to get blood, and Sebastian reaches there too and kills that girl. In the meantime, Matthew's friend also dies. Now only 3 people are left alive: Linda, Matthew, and their other friend. Now they search for Linda's friend who went to get blood, and they find her dead body in a freezer room. Besides Linda and Matthew, Sebastian kills the surviving friend too, using an iron rod to kill him. When Matthew tries to save his friend, Sebastian injures him as well. He locks Linda and Matthew in that freezer, turns on the freezer, and leaves them there. He wants to kill them both with the cold, and the freezer's temperature is gradually dropping. But Linda still gathers courage and tries to break the door, though she can't. Matthew, who is badly injured, passes out because of it. Then we see Sebastian getting ready properly and using a chemical to make a bomb, setting its timer and leaving from there. On the other side, Linda is trying to open the door using magnetic power, and this time she succeeds. The door opens. After the door opens, she starts taking Matthew out from there and lights a fire near him because his body has become very cold. Now Linda goes to the place where Sebastian is. Sebastian is in the elevator, and the elevator door is about to close when Linda arrives there. Linda has a cylinder in her hand, which she lights and burns Sebastian with it. Sebastian, who is all burned, has his body gradually burning too. Now because Sebastian is injured and very angry, he wants to take revenge on Linda. He wants to kill her at any cost. But Linda turns on the fire extinguishing pipeline, which causes water to fall there. Sebastian starts becoming slightly visible, and he starts beating Linda badly, putting his foot on her neck and trying to strangle her. Linda is almost about to die when Matthew arrives there with an iron rod in his hand. He stabs Sebastian on the head with that iron rod, causing Sebastian to fall right there. Then Matthew picks up Linda and they both start leaving from there. Sebastian, who isn't dead yet but still alive, picks up that same rod and is about to hit Matthew with it when Matthew realizes and pushes Sebastian. The rod hits the electric wires and the current spreads through Sebastian's entire body, causing him to fall and pass out right there. Then Linda and Matthew go to the place where Sebastian had set up the bomb. They both understand that they have little time and can't stop this bomb from exploding. They want to get out from there, But they can't go out via the elevator because Sebastian has inactivated their arrival and departure. So, they start climbing up using the emergency exit that's with the elevator. As they're climbing up, the bomb explodes, and while they're climbing, Sebastian grabs Linda's foot from below because he's still alive. Matthew moves forward to save Linda, but before Matthew can reach them, Sebastian pulls Linda into the elevator. When they're both in the elevator, Linda grabs a wire that's attached in the elevator, and the elevator is coming down from above via that wire. Linda presses a button with her foot, which detaches the wire from the elevator, and Sebastian falls down with the elevator. Below there's fire burning from the blast in which Sebastian burns to death. Linda gradually starts coming toward Matthew. Linda reaches Matthew and they both survive and are happy. With that, the movie ends right there.